Hey everyone, welcome to this advanced Flutter animation tutorial. In today's video, we are diving deep into some of the most exciting and complex animations you can implement in Flutter. Hero animation, animation controllers, and twins. These topics will help make your app's UI smooth, dynamic, and high engaging. So let's first answer this question that why animations matter. So we know that animations are not just fancy visuals. They significantly impact how user experience an app. Smooth transitions and meaningful animations can make your app feel responsive, delightful, and professional. So here is the list of topics which we will cover today. Hero animation, which used for creating fluid transitions between different screens. Then we have animation controllers. So they are used for controlling animation timing and sequences. Then we have twins. So twins are used for interpolating values for properties such as color, size, and positions. So by the end of this video, you will be equipped to handle complex animations with ease, and I'll walk you through practical examples so you can follow along step by step. So first, let's talk about the hero animations. So hero animation is one of Flutter's coolest features. It allows an element to transition between two different screens, creating a smooth and visually appealing flow. It's often used when transitioning between screens or moving a UI element from one place to another in your app. So let's start with a simple example. We will animate a square widget from one screen to another. So for the creating the hero animation, first go to your IDE and from here, first create a stateless widget as first screen. Then call this screen from the My App widget. Then here come inside the build method and from here remove this empty placeholder and here add a scaffold widget which will have an app bar, and in the title we will add first screen. Then for body, here add a center widget, and for its child first add the gesture detector. Okay, now for the gesture detector child, here add the hero widget. So this hero widget will help into creating the hero animation. Then here add the child, and for child here add a container widget which will have height and width of 100 each. Then for color, here add the blue color to it. Now if you are using hero widget for animation, then hero tag is a key property of the hero widget which uniquely identifies the widget in the source and the destination route. So the hero tag helps Flutter identify which widget in one route should transition to another widget in the destination route. Both the source and destination hero widget must have the same hero tag for the transition to work. If multiple hero widget exist in the tree, the hero tag makes sure Flutter know which one to animate. So that's why we need to add the hero tag inside the hero widget. Okay, now then here add the onTap method of this gesture detector, and for onTap we are going to navigate to the second screen. So for that, here add the navigator dot push, then context, then material page route, and here pass the second screen. So when user will tap onto this button, we will successfully get navigated to the second screen. Then come outside of this first screen. Now here create another stateless widget as the second screen. Then come inside the build method and from here remove this empty placeholder and here add a scaffold widget which will have an app bar and the title is going to be the second screen. Then for body, add a center widget, and for its child add the hero widget. Then for tag, add the same tag which we have used on the first screen. So here I have added the same tag. Then for child, add a container widget which will have height and width of 300, and for its color, add the blue color to it. Now if you save the code and run the application, then when I'm tapping onto this container, then you can see this container is animating to the second screen and its size is going to be changed. So in this example, when you tap the square on the first screen, it expands into a large square on the second screen with animation. Now let's make the transition a bit more dynamic. Instead of just a square, we can transform the widget into different shapes. So for that, come inside the second screen and wrap this container with the clip R rect widget. Then here add the border radius property and here set the border radius, then dot circular and set the radius to 50. Okay. Now if you save the code and run the application, then you can see when I tap onto this square container, then our square container is changing to a rectangle container with a smooth animation. So this is how you can implement the hero animation in Flutter. Now let's talk about the animation controller. So animation controller gives you more control over your animations in Flutter. Instead of just letting the animation happen automatically, an animation controller lets you start, stop and reverse animation at any time. Now let's look at how to use an animation controller to animate the width of the container. So for that, come above here and here create a stateful widget as animation controller example. Then call this widget from the MyApp widget. Then here we need to implement the single ticker provider state mixin to ensure smooth animation and efficient resource uses, providing a vsync signal to the animation controller. So now here we need to create the two variables for animation. So let's first create the animation controller, which declares an animation controller that will manage the timing of the animation. Then create the animation. So this is an animation that will interpolate, or let's say change the value. In this case, we are working with width part. So here we are adding its type to double. Then come below here and here create the init state method. Then here initialize the controller using the animation controller. Then here we need to add the two property, which is duration and vsync. So here for duration, add the duration as 2 seconds, and now here link the vsync to this single ticker provider state mixin for better performance. Then initialize the animation by using Tween. So here add Tween, then add its return type. In this case, we are working with width, so its return type is going to be double. So add that. Then inside Tween we need to define the begin and end property. So here at the begin as 0 and end as 300. So this means that our containers width will start from the 0 and it will go up to 300. Then this animation will be controlled by the controller. So here add dot animate, then controller. So basically Tween that smoothly transition from 0 to 300 during the animation. This Tween is animated by the controller. Okay. Now here add the controller dot forward to start the animation by moving the controller forward. Then come inside the build method and from here add the center widget, and for child add the animated builder. So the animated builder rebuilds anytime the animation value changes. It takes in an animation and a builder function. So for animation, add the animation, then for builder, add the context and child. Then from here return a container and its width is going to be animation.value. So this animation value will range from 0 to 300 for 2 seconds. Okay. Then for height, add the height as 100. Then for color, add the green color to it. Then come outside of this build method and here override the dispose method, and inside this method dispose the controller. So we are disposing the controller to manage the resources properly and avoiding any memory leaks. Okay. Now if you save the code and run the application, then you can see when our app get loads, the animation start with width of 0 and grows to 300 over 2 seconds. So this is how we can use the animation controller. So up until now, we have covered hero animations, Tween's animation and controller, like animation controller. Okay. Now let's combine all of them. So we are going to combining hero animations, Tween's and animation controller to create a more complex animation sequence. So here we are going to create a button that animates from one screen to another, grows in size and changes color simultaneously. So for that, go to the My App and from here remove this class and call the first screen. Okay. Now come inside the first screen and here let's remove this hero widget and add a new hero widget here. Okay. Now for tag, add the hero button because we are animating the button, so it's recommended to add the valid tag name. Then for child, add the animated button, and don't worry, we will create this button in a minute. And inside this button, I'm also going to define the height and width of the button. So here add the height as 50 and width as 150. Okay, now come inside the second screen, and here also remove this hero widget and add a new hero widget which will have a tag as hero button. Make sure to add the same tag. Then for child, again add the animated button, but this time add the height as 75 and width as 250. Okay, now let's create a stateful widget as animated button. Okay, now come inside the stateful widget and here add the two final variable. First one is going to be height and second one is going to be width. Now make sure to add these variable inside the constructor and make sure to mark them as required. Then come inside the state class and here implement single ticker provider state mixin using the with keyword. So here add with and then single ticker provider state mixin. And I have already told you why we use single ticker provider state mixin. Then let's create few variable for managing the animation. So first create the animation controller to manage the animation's behavior. Then create the size animation variable of type animation to animate the size. Then create the color animation variable of type animation to animate the color of button. Okay. Now here create the init state, and inside the init state method first initialize the controller by adding the animation controller. Then add the duration of 2 seconds and link the vsync with this. Then here add the size animation to animate the size. So here we are going to use twin of type double. Then here add the begin as widget.width because we are getting the width from the calling widget. Then for end, again here add the widget.width, just add the 100 to it. Then here add the animate and then add the curved animation. Then for parent set the controller and then set the curve as ease in out. Then initialize the color animation by adding the color twin and sets its begin color as blue and the end color as green. Then again add the animate, then curved animation. Then for parent again set the controller and for curve set the curves as ease in out. Then for starting the animation here add the control dot forward. Okay. Now come inside the build method and here first add the animated builder. So animated builder efficiently rebuilds the UI during the animation process. It listens to the animation controller and rebuilds the button size, color as they change. Then here for animation add the controller property. Then for builder here add the context and child. Then from here return a container which will have the width from the size animation dot value, and its height is going to be widget.height because we have the fixed height passed from the parent widget. Then for decoration, add the box decoration and sets its color as color animation then value. Okay. Now here set the border radius as border radius dot circular and set the radius as 12. Now for child, add a center widget. Then for child, add the text widget. Then here add the text as animated button and sets its text style which have color of white and size of 16. Then here override the dispose method and inside this method dispose the controller. Now if you save the code and run the application, then you can see when I tap onto this button, then the button size and color is going to change with this smooth animation. So this is how you can combine hero animation, animation controllers and twins in Flutter. So that's the wrap up. In this video we have covered hero animation, animation controllers and twin animation. Now you have the skills to animate transition between screens, control animations with precise timing and create complex value interpolation. So that's it. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment below with your thoughts or question. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more Flutter content, and I'll see you in the next one.